Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Fata Morga. Playing as Death Guard, we've got Vrax, and playing as the Tyranids, we have got Kimhorror. And once again, joining me on the dusty, sandy oasis of Fata Morga, we do have TheLaughingMax. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's clearly our map here. It's our home.
I was going to say, I wonder what, if we were to take, like, the percentage of how many casts we've done on this map specifically, I wonder what that percentage would be.
Must be at least 50%. It's like I feel home in one pond and you in the other one. I don't know.
That's it. So for our openings, we have got triple cultists for the Nurgle side of things, and down south we have got double Gene Stealers and a Broodlord going into a Tyrannicus Broodspire. So you might see the usual, standard openings for Gene Stealers. We often see Raveners, so we might see that. We might see some Lictors. Who really knows?
Yeah, let's see. He goes for like a third Gene Stealer. Normally you stick to 2 and then go for some Raveners, but he's not producing Raveners, so it's more like a Gene Stealer build. And Rex did go for Company 2, currently chilling with his Assault Marines. Now he's moving it. So he goes for Assault Marines with the Plague Lord, which is, I think, the most standard way of playing. So...
yes, especially against the Tyranids, because a lot of their early game units, in fact, I think almost exclusively, they are close combat orientated. So going for the Assault Plague Marines is probably the way forward. They do a bit of stabbing, and when they die, they explode, which does AoE damage around them. And the Brood Lord in the early game isn't that much of a terrifying prospect. It's just... later on in the game, when he gets his upgrades and gets some of his bodyguards, it's pretty alright, but in the early game, he's a bit wet.
Shall I, how should I say, shall I ruin your dreams of Death Guard? The explosion of the Marines is purely aesthetical.
What? But
Yes.
then, like... sure, right, because in I do believe it's Dawn of War 2 when they explode, they do damage around them, so, like, I just assume that would carry over, but... oh, well, okay, fair enough. I'm all for the aesthetics anyway, so I suppose that's okay. But we've got some Assault Plague Marines moving on to the Tyranids side, as well as a... Plague Lord is also out. On the right-hand side, we do have the Brood Lord smacking around these Nurgle cultists, and they do manage to get one squad wipe on the Gene Stealers who are capturing the relics. So nice pickup for Vrax here.
Yeah, so he reinforced the cultists to almost full, got a Gene Stealer cult, so very nice. Yeah, let's see, the slow, stabby Assault Marines on the one side, and now are they gonna join the Plague Lord? So just one engagement so far, so let's see how the tech path will evolve. We have one generator now for Rex, and yeah, no stuff from the Broodspire or anything, but I like to see reclamation pools built nice and early from Kimhorror, so he has at least kinda knows how these Tyranids deal, how to deal with them. Many Tyranids beginners forget the reclamation pools, he does not.
That's always a good sign. Reclamation pools, that's where they get the majority of their economy from, and building it all around this spore chimney. So nice and tucked away, and as far away as possible from the Death Guard, so defending it will be a little bit easier than if they were spread out everywhere. We do have the Plague Lord and the Brood Lord going toe-to-toe. Well, actually, no, there's a Assault Plague Marine as well in there as well, but he's keeping out of combat. We've got a swarm of Gene Stealers on the way. 5 in total at the... well, 5 in one squad. God, in fact, I'm not even going to bother trying to count. That's a lot of Gene Stealers, baby.
Yeah, and doing the nice thing with Brood Lord, tying up these cultists, because we have seen what the cultists can do in range combat against these Gene Stealers. Now the Plague Lord is surrounded by a lot of 4-armed dudes, but he keeps on fighting. Let's see how many he can take down. Absolutely,
and considering that they have got the Plague Company 2, I do believe... talked about it earlier, how it's able to do AoE damage around him. And he's also got his little healy thing. I don't know whether he's healed himself yet, or whether it's on cooldown at the moment, but if he does have it, I'd recommend him use it ASAP, but the problem is that he's got to stand still while using that ability, and I'm not sure if he's able to withstand the damage with how much health has it got left. It's got about... oh damn it, he's joined the Plague Squad, so I can't actually see how much health he's got left. Okay.
Yeah, he used it on the Plague Marines earlier. In Company 2, the damage around is for the vehicles later on. Around the champions, it's an armor reduction, which is equally good if you have some cultists around shooting. And now the mean listening post shooting in AoE damage. The Black Lord is still alive. The Spore Cluster missing him. So really unfortunate for the Tyranids there. And now they need to run away, and they will probably run away because they are obviously faster.
Oh yeah, they can definitely out. I mean, being faster than a Plague Marine is not something to be very impressed by, but I mean it'll work for them in this game. And just look at this wonderful, blooming on the south side at the spread of these reclamation pools. A really nice, organised pile. You've got to appreciate it. We've got tier 2 on the way for Kimhorror. Current economies are 1, 16, and 30 compared to 76 and 47% on their Hive Linky Madoodads. Not sure if we haven't got tier 2 for Vrax at the moment over here, but he's going to get his gift repository, so potential upgrades on the way, and this is quite significant. Death Guard assault incoming. We've got a lot of Gene Stealers to play with, so we'll have to see how this engagement goes.
Yeah, it's almost like you could play tic-tac-toe with these reclamation pools. I like it myself very much as well. So let's see what more upgrades he goes. He goes for a Botic Axe, close combat weapon, poisons and stuff. And there's some global ability used, I guess. Or now it's the tier 2 hypnotize ability on these cultists used to kill them. So they are basically stunned. And now the second part of the engagement takes place. I'm not sure who wins this. Probably Death God, I would assume.
Yeah, I'd say that they've got the health for it. They've got the general. I mean, I think the Gene Stealers out DPS them, but like they just crumble like Ravita. They're not exactly the most durable of units of the Gene Stealers. But that was quite a nice surround on those cultists by the lake. We're now seeing the Broodlord continuously chasing after the Nurgle cultists. And the Broodlord has got his first Gene Stealer bodyguard, so that tells me that the Gene Stealer acclimatization level 2 is online, so that will increase their speed, damage, durability, and also increase the maximum size of their squad. So that's quite exciting.
That's so Gene Stealers all the way. We have also our first warrior squad, followed up by a Hive Tyrant in production. So the tier 2, how should I say, heavy hitters are on the way, getting some devourers for the warriors. I mean, they can jump into melee, but do you want to jump into it's a 2, yeah, 2 fully upgraded reinforced squads of assault Plague Marines with axe that poisons you? I think I wouldn't. Now also some bio wars to range support. That's a very good idea. Death Guard will never ever get close to these bio wars with any of these units here. So very nice choice of units.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got 3 layers of assault here, haven't you? You've got Jesus for close combat. You've got the warriors for the mid range with their with their devourers, and the Biovars. Yeah, I mean, and I think their natural movement speed as well is just quite fast when you take into consideration that they're an artillery unit. So yeah, these guys are in a bit of a sticky wicket, but we do have some feculent normals. We've got 2 over onto this side. So Death Guard spreading their noxious influence over on towards the relic down here. So both relics are now for Vrax. We also have a countdown for the critical location. So Tyranids, they're doing all right, grand scheme of things, but the pressure is still on them.
Yeah, I mean, now that the Hive turn is out and I think 2 squads of Fire Wars, yeah, the big problems are these Gnolmors. Because when they retreat and you move into these Gnolmors, you are in a world of hurt, but the Biowars can get some anti-building ammunition, I want to call it. So they can deal with it, but yeah, you still need to something that at least survives long enough so that your ranged unit can fire. But yeah, that's a lot of damage on these Assault Marines. On the backside we see another squad of Assault Marines coming in, but I think their bloated rudders here will explode and before they will even reach them.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of Plague Marines, and now there's a little bit less Plague Marines. In fact, that was basically 2 squad wipes going on over there. Plague Lord also going down in the middle of that. I think there's too much green. It's like a toxic gas factory on the go. The Biovars are throwing around green. The Death Guard are throwing around green. It's It's like we're stuck in some sort of green screen at the moment. But yeah, really, really good defense from Kimhorror here.
Yeah, so it's now only Havocs and some cultists and two squads. Okay, 2 squads of Soul Plague Marines are still alive, but they had to be reinforced heavily, so that's a lot of requisition down the train. We see now a bloated Rhino, actually. So maybe he wants to park the bloated Rhino right into the enemy units, so that the damaging ability, the AoE damage ability of the vehicles can work. We will see. Where is it moving? Picked up something and now moving on the other side, actually. Okay.
Give it.
Havocs. I think he picked up Havocs.
Yeah, it was definitely Havocs. Now Havocs, I mean, the Biovores are technically infantry, so the Havocs might not do an amazing job against them, but there are still things like Spore Chimneys and Reclamation Pools for him to go after. Havocs can also have that upgrade where they're able to be quite good against infantry. And we've got 11 Gene Stealers in one squad. So, we've got 2 squads of 11 Gene Stealers on the way, actually. So these guys are going to run in and see what they can bash. They're going up against a Bloated Rhino and a Listening Purse. They've got no Synapse at the moment, no Broodlord speak of, so they will have their morale broken and will be forced to retreat. But it's interesting.
Yeah, they got their Sizing Talon upgrade, so this is when their damage explodes, but if they ran into the open arm of a Feculent Claw, a Listening Post, a Bloated Rhino, and some Havocs with Bruted Missile upgrades, there's no roses to be won over there. It's quite a hit squad with Bloated Rhino and Havocs. Let's see if there's the second Havoc squad all back in his base, but yeah, let's see if the Rhino can take down some units here.
He's brave, managing to avoid the first volley from the Biovores, but almost instantly being backed into a corner by those Gene Stealers. They will chase straight after him. I think, are the Biovores doing friendly fire damage to him? It's not sure.
They do not.
Good. That's useful then. But yeah, the Bloated Rhino, just enough movement speed to keep them out of the distance of the Gene Stealers. So now it's them. Now it's time for them to maybe be a little bit aggressive themselves. We've still got the Listing Purse for Vrax on the Relic here, so I assume that their first and foremost tactic is to take this one down. Feculent Nullmaul decides to go Betty Buys. It's going to lie for too long. So there, yeah. The Tyranid side of the map is being reclaimed.
Oh, he's planning to do quite a hit squad into the Rhino. There's 2 Havoc squads. One is joined by the Foul Blightsworn. The other one will be joined by the Malignant Blake Caster.
Well done.
He forgot to put it on, or did he just put 2 Blightsworns on each? That would be dirty.
I mean, yeah, those Blight Spawns, as we've seen on, I think probably both our channels before, that you can send one in and it'd be quite deadly. So attaching one to a Plague Havoc squad is going to be quite a serious issue. And he's going to get right up and close and personal. And yeah.
The head grenades, there's one.
Good lord.
And there will be another head grenades at some point. And the head grenades, the description said they're good against vehicles, but they're also very, very potent against infantry as well. So basically a grenade good against everything. But there's only one Foul Blightsworn, so
yeah. If there was another one, they would have certainly have killed basically the entirety of the Tyranid stuff. I mean, all the Biovores died more or less instantly there. It's a good job that this squad of warriors at the back were armed with Devourers, so they were a little bit of a distance away. But yeah, we're gonna have to make sure that your squads aren't too bunched up in this engagement. Oh, we've got some Plague Bearers. That's exciting.
Let's see what these there they go.
Woo, yeah! They tried their best, gosh darn it. They tried absolutely. One Spore Chimney being taken down by the Plague Havocs. They've got no Bloated Rhino to take them home, so they're going to be a little bit vulnerable. Gene Stealers will be able to catch up with them. But I mean, I'm not sure how quickly the Blightspawn's grenade regens, but I don't think it's too long. I think it's quite a relatively short cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, and you can have up to 3 of those guys, so there should be grenades for days here normally. He basically right-click Foul Blightspawn because there's one coming over and one already spawned again, so he goes with the Foul Blightspawn strategy. And you might think that Tyranids missing like spore chimneys and stuff, but he got all the reclamation pools, so his blue income is actually still very good, even though he's missing some points. The only thing he is missing pretty much is the influence. Another evil head grenade. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good lord.
Tied up. Yeah, do this together with the malignant bladecaster AoE damage on his attacks. Wow.
That is just redonkulous levels of damage coming in. Thankfully, the Hive Tyrant has managed to be able to get some good focus on the middle Plague Havoc squad. In fact, actually getting one, I do believe that is one squad wipe there. Yeah, so one Plague Havoc squad has been taken down. Blightspawn also been ruined. Those Biovars really saving the day in that engagement, I think.
Yeah, and the Hive Tyrant with his 2.5 commander armor as well, and his what is it, the Barb Strangler. So he's quite a tank. He can also get more and more upgrades later on the lines, but he's missing the building for it. He has a Gaunty Brutai for more infantry cap, I guess, but he needs to get some bigger stuff out. Like he's tier 3, so he could go for a Trigon Warren or anything really.
Yeah, I mean, hell's even like a Screamer Killer Carnifex, just something to break up this general stuff, because I mean, the Plague Havocs, they don't do much against Demon Armor, and that is what the Carnifexes do bring to bear. And yeah, Hive Tyrant being spanked around by the Plague Lord in close combat, looks like he's about to go down. In fact, does go down indeed, but the Plague Havocs very low on models. The Bloated Rhino has been killed, but they're still standing, they're still going fine.
Yeah, it's looking grim for Tyranids. They're fighting for minutes only in their base, no counterattack. So the economy and tech for Vrax is just continuing. He is tier 3, has the cesspit. He could go for some big units out. He just got another Rhino, but he also has a Blade Burst Crawler coming in. Really good artillery unit. You will see it firing on the enemy artillery right now. And that's something the Biowars are not good against. That's vehicles, actually. They can deal with buildings with the upgrade, they can deal with infantry, but against enemy vehicles, they aren't the greatest.
No, certainly. And, I mean, we are seeing some more Gene Stealers and Broodlords coming out from the Hive Spire, which, I mean, there's still time. The Gene Stealers are a wonderful thing that they scale really well into the late game if they get all their upgrades. And Kim has been doing a good job at keeping those upgrades on the go, but can they win? Can the Gene Stealers turn the tide against these blooming Plague Havocs? Because we've seen it many times before that 2 squads of Plague Havocs can basically take on most kinds of compositions, especially when they are backed up by those Blight Spawns.
It's I'm not sure if Vrax actually planned it out, but if you notice, like these Gene Stealers try to take down the Plague Burst Crawler, they were taking damage over time, all the time, because he is the Company 2 and deals damage around his vehicles. So if you want to melee down his vehicles, you have a problem, because you will get quite a lot of damage. These Gene Stealers are very deadly in melee, even against vehicles, but they are not tankies. So if they will fall, if they get hit, they will fall at some point. They tried against the Plague Burst Crawler. We will see again the damage ticking down on them, but will they take it down? I think they will. But the morale is broken.
Dear. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Because they'd be able to do it if they had the morale, but they don't. And that's what Tyranids really struggle with, is their morale without their Synapse creatures nearby. We do have quite an epic duel between this Hive Tyrant and the Plague Lord on the go, which is quite an interesting thing to see. Come on, take him on.
This is... did he use his heal already, is the question.
I think he has.
Oh, this is so close.
Good.
I'm rooting for the Hive Tyrant. Come on.
Ah, that's emotional.
Sad.
Sad times. The big pupper's being killed. But it's okay. The Hive Mind can always just digest the Hive Tyrant and build another one. It's all good and fine. Blood Rhino has been chased around by the Broodlord, who's now infiltrated, so that's quite good. But the infiltration won't save them from the AoE damage that the vehicles do, and now they've seen the reclamation pools, and they will start opening fire on these guys here.
Yeah, I was about to say the Hive Tyrant will probably not be brought to this fleet here. So yeah, very very interesting game, I have to say. I didn't know that the morale damage of the vehicle AoE is that high. Something I will keep in mind for future games and cars. Maybe we can see it again. Now there's the Brutal actually giving synapse, so maybe he can take down the Rhino. Yes, he can. Now chucking some dudes around. Some minor revenge here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, when they get the synapse, Tyranids are very hard to break, considering that they are immune to more or less all kinds of morale damage. But I mean, you can be immune to morale damage, but when the Blight Lord Terminators on the left-hand side come over, start bashing your base in with their almost looks like shovels, but they're very elongated axes. But they're going to be quite a tricky customer for these Gene Stealers to take on.
Yeah, everything that's keeping him in his game are these reclamation pools, but he cannot really tech as he has no influence, so he can only produce units but not upgrade them, not making them stronger, not getting buildings to get new units out, so he is more or less stuck with what we see here. It's Gene Stealers, it's Bio Wars, and the occasional warrior, but this unit composition will not make it here, I'm afraid.
Sadly not. I mean, it was a really good start. I think Gene Stealers were the right choice to make initially until we saw those vehicles coming in from Vrax. But I mean, we like I think you said earlier on in this cast that we need to see bigger Tyranids, some Carnifexes, maybe even like a Zone Thrope or two, rather than sending in the Gene Stealers to crack on with those tanks. But, whoa, very exciting game.
Yeah, it's like non-stop aggression. I look over to the bodies here, it's like the whole Tyranid base is covered in bloated bodies or Tyranid bodies all around here. Jesus.
That's it. And then you go to the Death Guard base and nary a corpse in sight. It's quite surprising, actually. The Death Guard base is cleaner than the Tyranid base. Isn't that fun? All right, so before we bounce, LaughingMax, what do you get up to?
I'm doing casts myself about Unification specifically. I have casts, I have guides, I have build order guides, I have everything about Unification that you want. I'd also have some German Let's Plays if you so happen to understand some German, so you can get over here and get more Unification or some German stuff if you so like.
Fantastic stuff. All right, then, well, thank you so much for joining us, Max, and thank you to you at home for watching. My name's been Mr. Lunchshark. Pleasure as always, never chore, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.
Bye-bye.